How's everyone in Edmonton today?
Oh, man, that was a tough one. You know what? You look at the game. I honestly thought the Oilers played a good first period. They were really moving the puck well, getting up the ice. And then the Canucks kind of clicked. Something clicked in the second, and the Oilers couldn't keep up. You know, is it that their big guns were fatigued? You know, that playing 25, 30 minutes for, whether it's Hyman or McDavid or Leon, did it catch up to him last night? Because the first period I thought the Oilers did really well. But after that, the Canucks took over. And they won the game. They deserved to win the game. They outplayed the Oilers. The best line for the Oilers is arguably their fourth line. And why they didn't get more ice time, I'm not sure. But, yeah, it's tough now. They come home. I'm sure they won't do any – those top guys won't do anything. I don't think they even want them walking. Just sit there and drink Gatorade and refuel the body and get ready to battle tomorrow night. But, yeah, I don't know what you guys thought of the game, but I thought the Canucks were way stronger the second and third period, and that's probably the best the Canucks have played through the 5 games that they've played.
Yeah, I thought in game 1 when Draisaitl went out, the Canucks really picked it up at 5-on-5, but I don't think we saw that since then. And last night, the Oilers, it felt like the Oilers had a push to start the third, and they were applying a little more pressure. But there's this matchup between JT Miller and Connor McDavid has really turned into something. I don't know if you saw the stat today. So it's just over 47 minutes at 5-on-5 that those two have played head-to-head. The Canucks are winning that match 2-0. And, it's Miller who scores the game-winning goal last night. It's McDavid's guy. There's another great visual of, Miller essentially bear hugging McDavid off a faceoff all the way up the ice. This guy, JT Miller, his number one priority is to be all over McDavid and not allow him any space. And McDavid's number one priority is trying to get away from this guy. But Miller's winning that battle right now at 5-on-5. And that's Rick Tocchet did a really good job of making sure that matchup stays intact. And that was, I get they're fatigued, but the Canucks looked good. And that JT Miller matchup is a big reason why.
We know what I think also contributed to this win. 0 for 5 on the power play for the Edmonton Oilers. That was a different approach.
What happened?
The Canucks on that penalty kill. They were so aggressive. And you could tell that what the Oilers like to do is they like to have Connor McDavid bring the puck up. He gains his own, and then he throws it back to Bouchard or across to Leon or whatever. And then they get complete control. The Canucks didn't let that happen. And I thought that was great. Now, it could go the other way sometimes, but for 5 power plays in a row, it didn't go that way. And they were ultra aggressive. They just couldn't get that setup where they had time and face the guy or face the defender with some space and time. They couldn't get it. And I thought that was a huge thing because the Oilers had, multiple chances to score in the power play. Yeah. And they weren't able to. If they get one, it might be a different game here, guys. We might be talking 3-2 Oilers.
For sure, but that's the danger with the Oilers is that they go 0 for 5, they don't get the power play goal, and now you're stuck having to win that game at 5-on-5. And you can't do it. And so, are you a little bit of a one-trick pony in that way, where the Canucks they're a good team at 5-on-5. And last night, a lot has been made, Struddy and D-Row, of the depth guys. They need the depth scoring. So you got one from Kane, and you got one from Janmark, and then the Canucks got one from Soucy, and they got one from Di Giuseppe. So, the depth guys for both teams contributed. And then it was JT Miller out of the star players who gets the one that makes the difference. So it's not on last night's game. It's not the depth guys that are the issue, but that's a one-off. That's going to happen. McDavid and Draisaitl, they're not going to have it every single night. And I thought Calvin Pickard played really well. All things considered, that was a good game for him.
So how well would you play him again for Game 5, an elimination game at home in Edmonton?
Well, what's your other choice?
Well, that's
you're either going back to Skinner, going back to Skinner and hoping that he's refreshed and reset and he's rejuvenated. But what if he's just been wallowing in it? What if he's kind of throwing himself the pity part? And I don't know the guy, right?
Sure.
But guys do that where it's woe is me and it didn't go well and I'm never going to get the netting. I don't know. That's where you got to have a gut feel on the personality of your guys. But I don't know.
Tough to go away from a guy who's only given up 5 goals in the last 2 games.
And you know what, you could, there's maybe a little bit of pushback. Maybe Di Giuseppe's goal is a bad goal, but I mean, honestly, I think in that case maybe Bouchard wasn't quite as diligent as he should have been, moving that puck quickly and maybe sensing the pressure. So it kind of just comes up and happens. But I'd go Pickard. I think he's more than anything. If you're just looking at what he's done, he's earned the right to that net Saturday night.
I agree.
And he's played well. He's, like you said, 5 goals against. He's made some really good saves. The save off of Niels Höglander, who I really like as a player, but maybe isn't completely loved by Tocchet. I thought that went off the post. He got a little bit of pad on that.
Yeah.
Goes off the post. So I think he's earned the right. And I think, Frankie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you got to give guys the chance who've earned the right to continue to play, because that sends a message
100%.
to your team.
100%. And the other thing, it's like, so now you look this right down the barrel. If you're Knobloch and the Oilers, you saw the Canucks go to their third string goalie and have success. And for a while, you were like, you're going to live and die with Skinner, and he's going to be the guy. And then you saw that success happen with the third string guy in Vancouver. And I wonder if a little bit of that fear shifted, and you looked at it and said, if they can do it with a third string guy, surely we can do it with Calvin Pickard. What are we really that afraid of? So if you've made that decision already and you've lost that sense of fear, why not just keep rolling with the guy? You kind of know what you're going to get. Unless he has an absolute stinker, you know what you're going to get. But the other thing about the Canucks, Struddy, and the penalty kill, it almost felt like there was a mindset within that group where they said, if they're going to score on us, but if they're going to score on us, they are really going to have to earn it. We are not going to let them stop and set up. And we're just going to go full throttle. And if they're going to beat us, they're going to have to beat us under pressure, under duress. And that was the same at 5-on-5 as it was on the penalty kill. And that's where that different mentality is. It's like, if you're going to get beat just being uber aggressive. And at least you can live with it that way.